Worthing FCTV with Chris Agutter following today's 1-1 draw against Dorking Wanderers in the National League South. Aggie, your assessment on it?
I thought they started really strong. We expected them to come out fast, start fast, which they did. I think they probably had the first 15-20 minutes of the game. Then I think we were very good between that initial period and half time, and deservedly took a 1-goal lead. And then I think the rest of the game was just two teams at the top end of the league. Very competitive, not much between the two teams. A majority of the game was spent between the boxes, not through a lack of quality, just more. I think the margins between the two teams in terms of levels is pretty small, and that was really the entire second half. I thought we, as I said, we got through that initial period where again Dorking were dominant, and then I thought we were very good. We had opportunities to get more than one. Didn't capitalise on some really good attacking opportunities, but then Dorking will argue they didn't do that in the first 10 minutes. So, but I think we certainly done enough to go in leading at half time, and then as I said, the second half was just a bit of a scrap really. I thought the changes we made helped. Got back in control of the game after Dorking got that ridiculous equaliser. And yeah, but I think we probably needed to play more passes. I think we'd the change in shape gave us opportunities to play through, gave us some overloads through the centre of the pitch. I think it was on to play through and get there in 5 or 6 rather than 1 or 2. And I think we've done that a couple of times, but not enough. But I think based on the 20 minutes, 25 minutes before half time, I thought that should have been the period of game where we won it. And even then, like I said, second half, nothing really happened apart from a horrendous mistake.
Yeah, on that mistake, it was also such a frustrating time to concede as well. Just after half time, and you're setting up to play a certain way in that second half, expecting obviously Dorking to come out a little bit more in the second half, and maybe looking to counter that a little bit more. And yeah, it changes your plan really so early on in that second half.
Yeah, actually, was trying to make it 2. We felt that was our best way to keep a clean sheet. If anything, stay on the front foot. We know Dorking tire. We know they concede a lot of late goals, so we felt that we could again, if we could get through the initial period of the second half, it would set us up to go and win the game in the latter stages. But their response after half time wasn't anywhere near as effective or as ferocious as what they started the game. Like when they started the game, they were very, very good. But after half time, I didn't really I do a lot by feeling, and I didn't feel particularly worried. And those mistakes have cost us all season. Like the amount of goals we've conceded like that this year is incredibly disappointing. I think back to Slough at home. I think back to Farnborough away. I think back to Welling away today. Those mistakes have really hindered us, and I don't remember too many opposition players offering up such straightforward opportunities. You can live with it a little bit more if someone's lost Pryor at the back post and he's thumped one in, he can do that. But the goal we've conceded is it's rank. It's rank, and to concede such a poor goal at such a pivotal moment in our season is criminal, really. And but we'll get what we deserve. Like if we finish 4th, 5th, we'll get what we deserve. Because if you make mistakes like that as consistently as what we have done over the course of the season, you don't deserve to win anything.
As deflating as it is, I'm sure the mentality is now onto Enfield and about getting 3 points there, and whatever happens. You obviously still can do it, albeit very unlikely. But whether it's 3 points and then onto the playoffs, it's about picking yourselves up and going again, right?
Yeah, we need to make sure that we do our job. If ever there was going to be a season where there would be a load of mad results on the final day, it would be this one. So what we must do is we must go to Enfield and we must pick up 3 points. I mean, the feeling in the dressing room now is absolutely horrendous, which it should be, because the players know that was an opportunity and they've missed it, another one. But if we don't do our job on the final day and results do go in our favour, then, well, as I said, I'll be, well, God knows what headspace I'll be in, let alone the players as well. So, yeah, we just need to. We can't park this, because, as I said, you need to reflect on it. And why does that mistake happen? I mean, myself and the staff, we're talking about it, maybe team selection perhaps, but I'm not too sure. I think that's bog standard. It's a bog standard bit of play, which at this level should be dealing with, unless I physically go out there and stick myself between the sticks. I don't know what more I can do. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just sort of think, well, like that period before half time was very good, and as I said, I think that warranted 3 points, and to have like the Truro game, isn't it? Like the Truro game. In these big games, it's small margins, it's moments. Glenn Ray says it a lot, moments, and we've just offered up. If you reflect on those two games, the fact that Truro beat us is mental, considering how that game went. But again, if you make mistakes like we do and we're cheap in our own 18-yard box, then you get what you deserve. Yeah, it's just mad. I think it's mental that ourselves and Dorking, we aren't at the top of the tree, because when I look at the level of that game today, at times that's a good level. Been around it long enough, you can feel it, and we've played Dorking twice this year, and you're against a very good side. Whereas when we dropped points a couple of weeks ago against Truro, who looked like they're in pole position to win it, well, that's beyond me. But as I said, we'll get what we deserve, and we'll reflect on today. We'll have some robust conversations, and we'll get ourselves in a headspace where we can beat Enfield, and then in all likelihood we will prepare for another crack at the playoffs.
Just finally, Danny Cashman went off in the first half today, looked like a hamstring injury. Is there any update you can provide on him?
I'll be very surprised if he plays football again this season based on that. But it's the reason we've got a squad. We've got a great group. We've got players that are itching to make an impact for us. So it's incredibly disappointing, because he's our talisman, and he's been pivotal in the last 6 weeks for us to take us from nearly to in pole position. So that's been, that'd be a big loss. But it's an opportunity for somebody else to grab the baton and help us move forward. So we'll be fine. We won't let it define the end of our season for sure.
Thanks, Aggie.
Cheers, Jack.